I just finished this 30-hour training on MDMA assisted work, right? Guiding people, in my mind, guiding couples through journeys using MDMA as a medicine, as a really impactful therapeutic tool because of the way it opens the heart, creates a sense of connection, and drops defenses and fear and blame. And to me, that's just like this, I don't know, this golden idea of what could be so transformative for couples work. Now, MDMA remains a Schedule 1 substance, meaning not legal. There is no conditions in which this is legal except for the research that's going on with it as they are seeking FDA approval, which seems inevitable given the results that they're getting and the safety that they're seeing, and yet it doesn't exist yet, still illegal. So I am not encouraging anybody to take MDMA. Okay, I'm not promoting this. I'm just talking about what I see as the potential. But anyway, in that training, the person doing the training gave several different kinds of games and exercises to use with couples in this kind of an experience. So when I'm just starting to do couples intensives myself, I bring 15 years of experience working with couples already in my therapeutic practice, right? As a sex therapist and a couples counselor, I do this stuff all the time. But he had a couple interesting little exercises to do that I have to believe would be even more powerful with a mind altering substance under the influence of medicine, and yet still useful and fun and potentially impactful, not in that state. So I wanted to share a couple of these with you. So one of them is the appreciation game, where you two could take turns sharing a gratitude or appreciation about each other, you know? And I think, we take this for granted. First of all, our human brains tend to notice our complaints and the problems more than we notice the things that we enjoy. So it is a lovely exercise to use intention to bring our brain to notice things that we love and appreciate about each other. And that will change how you're feeling. That will change your emotional state. It will settle down your emotional regulation, your nervous system, and it can lead to a sense of connection with your partner. It could be easy to do this kind of flippantly and quickly, but I would encourage you to go slowly, to settle down, and to do it longer than you might think feels right. It feels natural. The first couple might come really easily, but if you keep going, that's where you might drop into something deeper. On a similar note, you could play the curiosity game, where you ask questions, where you have genuine curiosity. Now, this is not asking each other questions to get each other in trouble. You're not the attorney trying to get somebody caught up in their words or catch them at something or debunk something. It's not aggressive like that. It's meant to be connecting. But do you have authentic curiosity about something, about your partner, about your relationship, about how they feel about your relationship, how they feel about your sex life, anything like that? So if you can ask questions one at a time, again, out of that true curiosity, just to listen, just to hear their answer, and then the person answers truthfully. Now, that would be important. If you can't answer, you could pass. Okay. For if you don't want to answer or you're not going to be able to be truthful about it, something like that, pass and move on. But you could take turns with that. And it's a chance to maybe ask the things that have been on your mind that you've never actually quite put into words. This is something I've done with couples in my therapy practice. Not so much the game back and forth, but like, what have you not actually asked each other that you would like to know the answer to? It could be really profound. All right. He also has something called the difficult conversation protocol. And, I teach a longer version of this for sure in my own work. But to give you something that's easily digestible, you can say, there's this thing I've wanted to tell you, that I've wanted to talk about. What I've been afraid of is X. Right? This is what's kept me from sharing it because I'm afraid you might react like this or this might happen. What I would like to happen is Y. Here's what I would like to share. And then at the end, is there anything you'd like to, any way in which you'd want to respond? And, do this gently with each other recognize that somebody's being vulnerable to share something hard, that they're afraid and they don't want to have a negative impact with this. Try to come at this from a place of compassion with each other. But this could also lead to a new conversation, something that you guys have been dancing around or avoiding or haven't quite dived into in a way that could allow you to be collaborative. All right, the last one I want to share with you, and again, I teach a longer version of this in my stuff and my work with clients. We go a lot deeper. But if the two of you can have some conversations, whether it comes out of that difficult conversation protocol, or you're just talking about something that you don't necessarily agree on, that you have different perspectives on, once you've heard each other and understand how you each see it and what's going on for each of you, the question to ask is, considering both of our needs in this situation, what are a couple of ways we could approach this that would work for both of us? It highlights the importance of a win-win. This is not one person asserting dominance over the other. This is not one person getting their needs met while the other person has to be sacrificed. This is, how do we get creative and collaborative to seek solutions and decisions and strategies that we can both live with, that take us both into account. And if you can treat that as a brainstorming, what are some ideas about what we could do so this could work for both of us? And that's got to be the test. It's got to work for both of you. But maybe you get somewhere new if you're not fighting for your idea or your goal or your agenda. If it's like, wait, it's got to work for me and it's got to work for you, maybe you reach something different. So play with these a little bit. Let me know how it goes. I'd love to hear what happens as you try any or all of these little activities.